Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on YouTube. Make sure you check me out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. 1212. I'm in the place to be with my homie INF.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com.
I keep forgetting to say all the time. Yeah. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, man?
I'm good. They said the INF is I never fail.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't mean I did it. It means I lost so much. It's about time to start winning.
And if you do fall, you're going to get back up.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, man. So I think I don't remember how long ago we talked though, but how long ago you think it's been since we talked last time? I think last time we talked was on the wrestling podcast.
Well, yeah, there was that. Last time I did PoPolitickin was 2020, probably like February or March, maybe.
Okay, so it's good to catch back up.
Or we'll go back, but I think it's like it was a little bit before WrestleMania. So yeah, I remember that.
So what's been going on with you?
Not much. Finally moved out of Jersey City. I live in New York City now, as you can see. The brown buildings. I live near. I'm like in the Washington Heights, like just outside of the Bronx area. So I'm happy about that. Finally own something, you know. So that's a beautiful thing.
So it's a condo.
Yeah. It's a condo. It's a co-op condo, and them joints is like, man, let me tell you, when it comes to getting a co-op, there's so much stuff you got to provide to them.
What is a co-op condo?
So a co-op is where you own a property, right? But instead of it being determined like as a property, you own the shares of a property. So it's kind of like you're going in with a community. It's like a community-based place, and you own the property, but they separate it into shares. And it's kind of like you know how corporations may have like people that oversee a company, that like shareholders basically.
Yeah,
It's basically like shareholders, and they have input on what needs to be done with a corporation, or what new things need to be rolled out with the company. It's kind of like that, but for buildings. I know somebody who's into homes could probably tell you better, like my wife herself. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So like, we own something, and it's a beautiful thing to own it. To be able to have something, to be able to have a legacy to pass down to my children when I have them, you know. So I'm thankful for that, for sure.
yeah. Especially if you own something in New York, that's like a gold mine.
Man, let me tell you, folks that you know that I got this property, they're like, wait a minute, what? Are you serious? You own something in New York City? And I can't believe it myself, but I give more credit to my wife than anything, because I would have not have thought purchase something in New York City. I would have not figured that it was possible in my lifetime, you know. So
there was a lot of regulations you had to get through.
a lot of regulations, red tape, lot of forms you had to fill out. Made sure, everything was on the up and up as far as credit, finances. Making sure we move money from one place to another, to make sure is specifically what these people are looking for, to consider us as homeowners. It's a lot more red tape for folks like us, because that's just how it's been. It's in the long run, they don't want us to own much. They always want us to rent.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Especially for being a black person, shit, you got really
Exactly.
on point. You better have that paper trail. Better be on point. Jay-Z
Exactly.
always talk about paper trail. He's trying to
Yeah.
tell you. Yeah.
See, and I love Jay-Z. You know what I mean? I love Jay-Z. The only gripe that I'll have about Hove in certain instances is like, when you go from hustler to millionaire, like there's no in between as far as his music. There was no, okay, I made the million. How do you make that million? How do you get to that million? Oh, I'm going to, I got a Warhol on my wall. Like, that is great and everything, but for the folks that's not really going to get Warhols like that, how do you how do you get to that point? And
Yeah,
that's the hard thing. Like I can't knock Jay for being able to do that. He's accomplished that in his lifetime. And I'm certain that it was difficult for him. But you know, we gotta have folks we gotta have folks speak on financial literacy and things of that nature. I know I'm not financially literate at all. Like not like to a certain extent, I think I'm good, but I realized that, the past few years that, I could have saved so much money on certain things. Like, I would always go and eat somewhere instead of, making something at home, like getting a recipe, figuring it out. And now with COVID happening and everything, being shut down, at least in 2020, like it gave me the time to actually figure that out, to learn how to be a better cook than I am, to not just, rely on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all the time when I want something quick to eat, and be patient. So I think, aside from the negatives of what COVID, is, and all the people that passed, like for those that, you know, really needed this to focus on their self and well-being, and what the next steps are in life, I think it was a benefit to us in that aspect. Not COVID itself, because that shit is just terrible. Like and it's only getting worse,
yeah. I
you
heard
know.
it's about another strain. It's talking about MU. What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I was talking to my wife about that yesterday. I was like, yo, it bypasses like immunity of any sort. Like, and like it's just going to continuously turn into another strand or another mutation, another mutation, another
and I'll
mutation,
tell
and
you
to the
better.
point.
Yeah, I say people just better get ready because shit, you gotta just be
uh,
ready, man. Keep that immune system up.
yep, as best as you can, as best as you possibly humanly can. And I know there's folks that's like, I'm not scared of this, or I'm not gonna wear my mask, and I get it. I understand. Nobody wants to do these things. Nobody wants to have to, result in, wearing a mask or doing something that they're normally not accustomed to. I'm practically passing out wearing a mask when I gotta go inside somewhere, but
Yeah,
that's just that's what I choose. Anybody for, trying to do that themselves.
yeah, that be that's the only thing
Hold
too,
on
man.
one second. Let's see. Let's see. What just happened? Uh, my bad about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah. Like when somebody calls me, it just disrupts the whole thing. So
Yeah, they be doing everybody like that.
yeah, but yeah, like that was pretty much it in a nutshell. Like, yo, that's where I'm at about it. But at the same time, we got to appreciate what we do have going on, and appreciate the family that we have, the friends that we have, because it's a trying time for all of us. You know,
Yeah.
it's a trying time.
What's up? So what you working on with the music? What's going on?
So at this moment, I'm behind the scenes on a lot of production. I just a shouts out to Mike Johnson Jr., JD Riggs you know and Mike, they came out with a project for Mike. It's called Growth Spurt. You interviewed Mike last year too, or
Yeah,
maybe was it this year?
that's why I said I interview all y'all.
Yeah.
I ain't get no merch or nothing. I'm like, I interviewed the whole crew. I
Hey,
should
hey, talk
have a CD
talk
or something.
talk to JD. We'll figure something out for sure. And
Oh,
you already know we fam, so we got you definitely.
okay, for sure.
Mike Johnson Jr. just dropped this project called the Growth Spurt. It is crazy. You got production from myself on there, JD Riggs on there. You got KXL on production. Um, more. Jimmy Dukes is on there. As far as features, you got the whole HCM's the gang. You got Chris Rivers. You got Rockness Monster from Helter Skelter. Rest in peace, Sean Price. Um, and it's just the list just goes on and go on. Like that project is fire. I'm not gonna hold you. When you get a chance to listen to it, You know, you can get it at thisishcm.com. It's also on Spotify and every other, DSP that you can find. Um, Other than that, I've put out a project as a producer for my other cousin, D Larceny. He's got a project called Rap Sheet 2, The Yard. That's out as well. As far as me as an MC, I'm currently working on the next album, which is From Here to Infinity. And it's like, without getting into too much detail about it, it's basically about my journey from point A to point B. And the thing about getting from point A to point B is you can view it, multiple ways, like being broke to being financially stable, uh, you know, dealing with tough times and then reaching that success point, getting from point A to point B, like on a car perspective, like, or you used to be in transportation and now you can actually drive. Like, those things are, it's about that journey to that next level in life. You could also view it as, from beginning to end, from when you were born until the end of it. um but like, as of right now, I'm focusing on that, and really just focusing on getting my life, in order and set, for the years to come. You know,
Yeah.
like,
I say I didn't remember you being I mean, I guess you probably told me you was producer, but I didn't think you was like producing so much stuff. And then, like, I've been hearing the music, I was like, oh, you tight, tight, tight. I didn't know you
thank
like
you.
that with it. I was like, yeah,
Uh,
okay.
Like,
I just
like,
thought you was a rapper at first, more than the producer. I was like, oh,
yeah, like, I do like to consider myself as that. Like, for me, producing is, I think it's therapeutic for me because it allows me to, how JD put it on one of his projects, it allows you to speak without words. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
it allows you to get an emotion out or feeling out based on, what sample you chopped, what drums you choose. And I like to hear, you know, specific people on my production, because it's like a sound. I hear their voice, and I know that I know what that voice can do on this record. So, um I put out EPs here and there that's not under High Caliber Music as a producer, because I think I think my production is, I like my production, and there are a lot of people that do like my production, but I know that there's still, room for improvement as far as that. There's a lot of people that view me as only a producer. There's a lot of people that view me as only a rapper. I much
Oh,
prefer to be respected more as an MC than a producer, but if I get respect as a producer, that's also great. Like, for instance, JD Riggs is a phenomenal producer, on top of being one of the illest MCs I know. I always consider him the greatest MC that I know,
oh,
period. And he doesn't get the respect that he deserves in a lot of cases, whether it's my hometown or, in the industry, when there should be platinum plaques on the wall because of, something that he may have started or something that he's co-produced on. And he's gonna get his recognition, like, very soon, because what he's got coming out is, I like to say, is unmatched. And you can call it biased or what have you, but he's just that dope. I'm a part of a team that genuinely gives a shit about the music, the craft, what it stands for, the meaning behind hip hop, and the family values that you have to really embody to make that type of music. Like, there's nothing wrong with just making music to have fun, or just making music about selling dope, or, just making music for the trend right now. But at the end of the day, what you're passionate about, if you can make something that you're passionate about, that represents you as a person, as an MC, as an artist, singer, and there are people that can relate to that content, that's all that really matters to me. And I think the financial aspect will come after that. So that's what I'm at. That's where I like to believe my team is at right now. Like, we're focused. I feel like we're already there, the door hinge is just being broken off right now. You know what I mean?
I would say what like say what it could be like an old school or whatever. What label or crew would you compare y'all crew to HCM to?
Whew. HCM is like we're students of. I feel like we're students of the people that we grew up listening to.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say we're a hybrid of, Death Row, Tribe Called Quest.
Death Row. Y'all be jumping?
No, we don't be jumping. I'm talking about like the sonicness, the sonic and professional like nature of how the music came out, like the type of music it was. Like we not all about gangster rap shit like all the time. We definitely have those type of records. We got we got folks that's really out there like that doing that type of stuff. But like I'd say it's them. Like we also, learn from digging in the crates. I said early Def Jam, Bad Boy. Uh like I think we really like studied, we studied like our favorite albums and figured out, how can we implement that type of energy into what we do. As far as when we get to the lyrical aspect, we could say Blocks all day. We could say Mob Deep all day. We could say Helter Skelter. We could say Naughty by Nature. We can even say like Eminem, you know, Rockefeller, Rough Riders. Like those are who we're students to. Like we really started getting real serious about it. I'd say when 50 was going at Ja, when Jada and Beanie Siegel was battling each other, like when it really mattered about what you were saying on a record, when it really mattered about you living what you say on a record. We care about the value of the content that we put out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that people still remember that, because there's a lot of, in this age of social media and stuff like that, in this age where, you can put out one record and it's about, selling yourself. It's about stripping or something like that, or it's WAP or something like that. People take out of context the other material that these artists may have. You know, when we make music to put it out there for people to enjoy. We also make music for ourselves as well to get through whatever we're going through. And if we can continue to do that and be true to ourselves and what we make, that's that's enough for me. And it also means a lot to get the recognition that we're getting. Like for years we've been ignored or not put on a list or somebody's top list in the town or something like that. And then we started getting awards now, from our hometown. And folks may view that as something small, but we view that as big, and a big thing, a big outcome, because we earned that shit. So as these days keep going, we'll continue to make dope stuff and move forward, because what matters is the essence of hip hop, where it came from, because it came from nothing. It came from rubble, literally came from rubble. And if we don't, honor that in some way, we're not doing a disservice to that type of music.
I was reading that you're all elite.
Oh, that was a joke. That was a joke. Oh, it was
You heard you and shit. I was like, I didn't know you wrestled.
Nah, I was playing. I was so what happened was when CM Punk came back and All Elite was posting about CM Punk coming back, it was like, yo, you know, like how did you feel? How did you feel when CM Punk came back? And I said I cried thug tears, and they liked it. And just because they liked it, I wanted to, act like a mark and say that I was All Elite, because as soon as somebody leave WWE or another company, here come the
Everybody saying
trolls.
they
Here come the
know.
marks
Yeah.
saying that, oh, they about to go to all elite. They about to be all elite. So I wanted to do that because I love wrestling too much, and CM Punk coming back is a major thing for the wrestling industry. It really is. It really is. I'm excited to see what he does. I know that this version of CM Punk is not going to be the voiceless CM Punk, when he's, upset with the company, because that was he really felt that when he was doing that,
Right.
you know. So now he's like, he's coming back, and he's coming back for the voiceless, and now all elite is here, and it's an opportunity for us to actually get what we want in wrestling, on top of Major League Wrestling and GCW and all the other indie, companies that's doing it. Shouts out to NAAW, Facebook wrestling group, by the way. They got a huge wrestling group for black wrestling fans and black wrestlers, which is dope. Um, but yeah, I did that to be funny. I did that to be funny.
Mm. I was like, you be doing all your graphics?
No, I don't do all of them. Like it's something that I've been learning and wanting to do. And that's another thing about being, you know, under coat, like being, locked in the house because of COVID and stuff like that. You get the time to, work on things that you're passionate about. So as far as anything that comes out of high caliber music, there may be some graphic art that I may assist in sometimes here and there, but we usually outsource for that, you know.
Okay.
But if JD needs me to do a quick graphic for like a promo or something like that, I'll do that in a heartbeat. First and foremost. Um, as far as anything that I produce, I may do a motion graphic for like an artist that I've worked with. So like for instance, the Rap Sheet Volume 1 and 2 for D Larceny, I did the artwork for. Young Ro, he just dropped his EP, Laugh Now Cry Later. I did the artwork for that. And really most of the job is, getting the artist to, you know, get a picture, send a picture to me or get something
Uh,
professionally done. The rest is really about, you know, making sure that the art matches the content, you know? And I think that's important. And I think what I enjoyed about I was more hands-on with D Larceny's projects because, number one, that was my cousin, and he when it came to working with him, I wanted to let him know, like, yo, man, you've gone through some stuff. I want this to be a cinematic, you know, a cinematic journey on wax. And the beats that I provided to him that he copped from me, like we were able to make two concrete projects out of it. And from that, I wanted to make sure that the art matched, the content, and it does. It does. It definitely does.
yeah, you got to send him my way. I check him, interview him.
Definitely,
I don't
definitely.
think
I
I
got you.
interviewed him yet, right? I never interviewed him.
Nah, I don't think you interviewed. I don't think you interviewed D Larceny yet.
Uh,
Um, but you did interview. You did interview everybody out of HCM, and there's more. There's more folks. There's more. I know. I know. Eastside Easy got something coming. JD Riggs. I know you got a link back up with him at some point once his project drops. Seven digits for. I keep on calling him Eastside Easy. He changed his name to Hooligan Easy. Man,
mm,
that man had many different versions of Easy in his name.
huh.
Since I've known him since high school. Shouts out to Easy. Um, he's got something coming. I know Emmy's got something coming. Shay's working. Like we all working. Trell's working. We all working on the next steps for 2022, 2023, and beyond.
Yeah.
So
I think earlier you mentioned you say you was working on getting your life in order. So I was saying, so
yeah.
what do you mean by that?
So we got the new place, and that's great. We're still working on renovations. I'm not a parent yet, but that's gonna be the next steps. Naturally in life. Um, it making sure family's straight. making sure my mental health is in order as well. I think everybody should, you know, make sure that their mental health is in order. Um, and just make sure that I'm enjoying myself as much as I possibly can, you know. I think that's what I mean when I say, making sure that my life is in order and is straight. Um, because at the end of the day, it's not always easy, but I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. you know, I'm thankful for what I do have and who I have. That I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I said once you get some kids, man, that's gonna it's like because I just got kids like they're like one and a half, you
Okay.
know. So it's like, man, they just change your whole perspective on life. It's like you weren't even looking at life how to, it just make you like I said, change your perspective. Because you
Yeah.
ain't thinking that way because you don't got kids. So once you get them, it's like you just see the world different.
Exactly. Like I think the closest thing to me having that experience was, growing up living with my oldest brothers, my oldest brother Nuke and my older brother Kev, like at times, and they already had kids, so there was a time where I had to like watch them, days on end, days on end, and that was a part of what I needed to do in order to, stay living with them, without having to pay nothing or pay much. Like I saw, my nieces and nephews like grow up in front of me. So it's like, all right, I understand that these are the basic things that you got to make sure you do. You got to make sure they are nurtured. You got to make sure they eat. You got to make sure they learn and acquire the knowledge that they need to be successful in life themselves, And I think that's something that, in doing that, I also realized that that was important for me to do myself too. So
I know, right?
yeah. So and I think there's a lot there's a lot that you appreciate, when you have kids, and I don't think that I have that completely yet. I don't feel like I am 100%. I don't feel like I under 100% understand the meaning of life in that way until it happens, I think.
Yeah, it'll happen
So
though. Good.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm confident it will. I don't think I'm a strikeout. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen in the next year or two.
All right, man. So we're gonna have to wrap it up because it's gonna be a long day. So I gotta treat
Oh
this like
yeah.
I
Oh
gotta
yeah. All right.
I gotta be like the little Drake.
Yeah. All right. All right. It was good. It was good speaking to you. You can find me on Instagram at Instagram. Everything music related, go to thisishcm.com. If you're an MC or a singer and you want beats from me, go to infonthebeat.com. That's INF on the beat.com. Mike Johnson Jr.'s Growth Spurt is out now everywhere, but get it at thisishcm.com because you get something special with that. You'll see my face a little bit more as the world, hopefully opens up more. And I'll be talking to you soon about some more wrestling shit and some more music shit down the line, of course.
Well, we supposed to be doing the watch party tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow, like by the time this comes out, it'll probably be after, but you get what I'm saying. Like
This
AEW.
this is already out. This
Oh,
live.
sorry. Oh,
Yeah,
we're live, pal. We're live, pal.
we live. It's
Yeah.
already
So
out.
tomorrow we'll get up and we'll watch all out together and talk some junk. I'll see what's up with my rock solid wrestling crew. See if they want to join, and we can shoot the shit. Because who do you think is gonna win though? You think CM Punk gonna win, or you think Darby gonna win?
I think Darby gonna win.
Ah,
I don't
nah,
think they're gonna
nah.
let. I don't think they're gonna let Punk come in and just win like that.
I don't think they're gonna let Punk lose in Chicago.
Or
Not in Chicago.
it's gonna be a disqualification or something else. Because it's like
Prob-
they be pushing
Probably.
Darby too hard. They be pushing Darby too hard. So I don't just see him losing like that. That'll be kind of like, dang, like that's like one of y'all main people y'all pushing, and y'all just gonna let him lose the Punk on the first, The Punk ain't been
Yeah.
wrestling since how long? So it's like He shouldn't even.
Let
I want to see it. I want to see it.
let Punk turn heel. Once he turn heel, it's over. Once he once he turn heel, it's over. That's all. That's all I need to say. All right, you enjoy the rest of your marathon interviewing. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Myself, HCM. We appreciate you as always, and we'll be in